So welcome to this month's episode of the JVology Global Lounge. Super excited today. Going to talk about a hot topic, something we've shared on the JVology Global Lounge before that there were a ton of people with questions. So we are going to run through it again. And we've got some new members on the line that this will be brand new information for them. About running a successful online launch. There are 6 pillars that you've got to have in place in order to run an online launch successfully. That without those pillars, then what happens is launch trauma. And launch trauma is having these big expectations for a launch and then falling flat on your face, which has happened for me and happens for most people who do a launch. So today, going to share information on how to avoid launch trauma, how to avoid the big mistakes that many people make in their launches, and ultimately, what are the foundational pieces that you have to have in place in order to get the results that you want with your launch. So for those of you who are jumping on for the first time, this is JVology. We are the perfect mix of people, fun, and profit, where we teach people the art and science of profitable partnerships and how to grow their businesses through joint ventures. This is the JVology Global Lounge call. The call format for these calls, one is to welcome new members and anybody in our higher level programs and mastermind groups and memberships. Then we go through JV training, which I shared today what that's going to be. Following the training, which is the majority of the call, there is an opportunity for questions and answers. So if you got any questions about anything that was shared, you're able to raise your hand, submit those questions, and get support on exactly what you're needing support on. Following the Q&A, there is an opportunity for joint venture pitches. So this is an opportunity if you've got a product launch, an online launch, a joint venture partner webinar, or any kind of promotion coming up in the future that you would like support on, then you've got an opportunity to take 2 minutes maximum to share your JV pitch or JV offer of, hey, this is what I've got going on. This is the promotion. These are the dates. These are commissions. This is who it's for. This is what I'm looking for. If you are interested in supporting, then reach out to me at this email address or go to this website or whatever it is. So if you want to do a JV pitch on this call, if you could please let me know now so I can calibrate time in order to fit those in. So if you want to do a JV pitch, you've got a JV pitch prepared and you're ready to rock, then if you can just please say, I have a JV pitch, that would be fantastic. All right, beautiful. So then following the opportunity for joint venture pitches, there is an opportunity for mastermind support. So this is different than the Q&A because Q&A will be based on the content that was shared for me. An opportunity for mastermind support will be if there's something in your business that you'd like feedback on from multiple people, or something you'd like to bring in front of the group as, hey, I've got this challenge, or hey, I've got this opportunity. I'd love to get multiple pieces of feedback and support for it. Then you can share something in that mastermind support time. So if you'd like mastermind support on a specific topic, if you could please type in the word mastermind, then that would be fantastic so that I can calibrate for that timing as well. Then following the opportunity for mastermind support, we share our upcoming events, when our next JVology Global Lounge call is going to be, and then we're done. So that's the format for our calls. You can ask questions throughout the calls. I check in here and there with questions that are coming up throughout the content, but oftentimes we'll wait till a break, like to finish a certain section of the content or until the content is done to jump into questions. So if you got any questions, feel free to share those. So first off, want to welcome you to this call. Welcome any of our new members who are on the line. I'm excited to shift over to Zoom because then everybody can be on webcam. It'll still be similar to this format of sharing the slides, and I'll be on webcam. Everybody else can be on webcam too, or decline, whichever that is. But it'll be a more intimate experience that we'll be switching over to next month. So I want to welcome any of our new members that are on the line right now. Also, any of our joint venture mastery members, so people who have said yes to working with us for an entire year through the joint venture process to grow their business with joint ventures to 6 figures if they're not there yet, and to 7 figures if they're already doing 6, through all of our different programs, live events, coaching, mastermind aspects of the program. So I want to welcome you guys, and also want to welcome any of our lead members. And our lead members, for anybody on the line who doesn't know, our main brand and business is Mastermind to Millions, where we teach coaches and experts how to launch, fill, and run masterminds successfully in their business. So any of our lead members on the line who've invested in themselves to work with us for a year on masterminds, want to welcome you guys to the call as well. So jumping in to our JV training this month, we are going to talk about these 6 pillars of successful launches. So again, these 6 things must be in place in one way or another, must be filled in order for a launch to happen and to happen successfully. Otherwise, if you're missing one of these, it kind of like, it's like a wheel that's missing a sixth of the wheel, so that every time you get around to that wheel, and it just doesn't really work and fall flat on your face. So number one, first thing is topic. You've got to have a topic that people are actually interested in, that has a demographic and a market of people who want it, of people who need it, of people who are willing to invest for it. It's got to be a hot topic that people are interested in, not something that people aren't interested in. Like, I'm just making something up, but like how to choose the best toilet paper for your package or for your household. Buy this $2,000 package. I don't see that as a really viable idea or topic. Now, it might be, but I don't see it that way. Whereas something like our mastermind program, as an example, that there is a huge market for that of coaches and consultants who are maxed out on their time that want to have more scale and leverage in their business. So that topic is really hot. And that's one of the reasons that we really dove in and built that business really quickly, because it was a hot topic. So in whatever it is that you're offering, be sure that you've got a hot topic. And I'm going to dive into each of these 6 a little later on. I'm just going to run through them right now. So you've got the basic overview. So once you've got a hot topic that people are actually interested in and willing to invest for and want those results around that topic and that conversation, next thing is the proper timing. So if you're doing a promotion or a launch, it's important to have the correct timing. If you're doing so a couple things to consider in timing, I'll share with you when I get to it. On the slides. I'm just going to share these. So the next thing is team. So you need a rock star team because there's so many different aspects of things that need to be done in an online launch or promotion. So you need a team in place, whether that's other people or whether it's you filling each of those roles on the team. But you need all those roles filled, and ideally with a team if you're doing a large scale online launch. Next is the technology. This is an online product launch, and there's going to be technology for running webinars, for having sales pages built, for having people actually pay you with their credit cards, and all of those pieces need to be in place in order for this to happen. Next thing is traffic. So you need eyeballs on your offers, eyeballs on your content, eyeballs on whatever your promotion is in order for people to see it, to engage with it, and then take action to invest in it. And the last thing is a transition process to have people go from having their eyeballs on your stuff and being a prospect or a lead into transitioning and actually becoming a customer and paying you money for the value that you're providing. So those are the 6: topic, timing, technology, team, traffic, and your transition. So diving into each of these more in depth, the first is topic. So it's got to be a hot topic with a hungry market of people who actually want it. Hungry markets right now in my mind that come up, like the survival market. Like, think about where are there raving fans and like diehard people who are like diehard about something. The Star Wars market, there's diehard raving fans who will buy everything that ever comes out. Think of your value, what it is you want to provide, and what audience is hungry for it and willing to invest for it over and over and over and over again. And think about what that is and choose a topic in that realm, or frame whatever it is that you're doing in a way that that market is hungry for it and wants it and is going to engage with it. And again, it's really about finding what is it in the value that you have to share that there's also a demographic of people out there that want it and are willing to invest for it. Also, it's a good idea to look and choose a topic that has other people in the space already talking about that topic. And this, sometimes people are looking for something. I want to find something that nobody else is doing so that there's no competition. And that's really limited thinking. Excuse me. And it's something that it's kind of a false benefit, because if nobody else is doing it, then it's like you're new to the market, you're offering something that's not being offered currently, the model hasn't been tested, the offer hasn't been tested, nobody else is doing it, so there's no prerequisite of somebody also already doing that gives proof to this will actually work. So it's always a good idea to choose something that somebody else is already doing, something similar to, and they're doing it successfully because they've proven that, hey, this can work. And then you come in with your new twist, your new way of framing it, that there's already a proven market for it, and that market is already proven to want it and invest for it. Also, focus on what's the story. So in the topic, what's your story around the topic? Because if we talk about masterminds, there's a ton of people that teach about masterminds. We have come in and framed it around Jay's story and Jay's experience of doing this for over 25 years and really have the best marketing or mastermind training in the world of how to launch, fill, and run a mastermind successfully. But the story is built around everything that he's done with masterminds. Then you want to outline the opportunity of what's possible. So in this topic and training, and this is kind of getting into the story arc of what a launch would be, of the kind of the progression of content and training you would take an audience through, is starting with, cool, so if this is something they haven't heard about before or something they're interested in, what's the opportunity for them in actually engaging with this training, with this free content? What's the opportunity for them when they understand what you're about to teach them? What becomes possible for them in their life, in their world, in their relationships, in their business, in their fitness, whatever your topic is about, what is the opportunity for them of what's possible when they really understand it? Once you paint the picture for them of what's possible and the opportunity, next thing is showing them the transformation that's possible. So what does that journey look like of engaging in this content, implementing it in their life and in their world, and what's the end result of where they are now versus where they're going to be? What is that transformation that's possible for them through engaging with your content and your topic? Then you also want to provide a solution to achieve that desired result. So you're painting a picture and showing them the transformation that's possible of where they are now versus where they want to be, but how do they get to where they want to be over here on the other side of this arc? And this is really giving them the blueprint for accomplishing that result that they're seeking. Now, this story that I'm talking about, typically I'm sharing this in the context of an online product launch, which typically is a piece of content on day 1 that leads to a training video, a piece of content on day 4 that leads to a training video, a piece of content on day 7 that leads to a training video, and then another training video sent out on day 10 or 11 with 4 days of a registration period to an online program or a $2,000 product program. Now, there's a bunch of variations on that, but that's essentially how it goes, is 10 days of free content that's shared through this PLC, pre-launch content, and then 4 days of registration period that registration is open for whatever the product or program is that you're offering. So this story that I just shared of painting the opportunity, getting people bought in on the topic and on the idea, then showing the transformation that's possible for them when they actually engage with that topic or idea, and then giving them the blueprint of how to do that. This is shared through pre-launch content or PLC. And that typically is immediately consumable downloads online. So ebooks, PDFs, chapter of a book, spreadsheets, workbooks, like something that somebody can download immediately that then leads to the video. And that's what this PLC is. And the arc of the story is the first piece of PLC would be about the opportunity. The second piece would be about the transformation. The third piece would be the blueprint for success, which then is leading into, now, okay, cool. So you've got the basics. You see the opportunity. You know what's possible through the transformation of it. You've got the basics of the blueprint. Now here's an opportunity to work with me to actually implement this and get these results. And I just shared all of this stuff. So another thing to focus on in the offers is the results that people want or the mistakes that they need to avoid. And this is a pain-pleasure thing that both of them support people in taking action and engaging in content, of focusing on the pleasure that's possible, but also it's important to focus on the pain that they can escape or avoid. So like the top mistakes that people make with blank is a hot and common title, because it works, because people are worried about making the mistakes and costing themselves more money, more time, more energy, more effort, more mental or emotional stress or strain. So avoid the mistakes and focus on the results. What's really good in this framing the topic out is having each piece of the content and the offer fit in with the conversation that you're having with the audience, because that's important. That's what they're engaging with you for. And then to write really good headlines and create valuable content that gets shared. So these 3 pieces of pre-launch content is not just throwing stuff together for people to opt in for, but really creating real value for people that whether they move forward and take action on whatever your paid offer is or not, they're still going to get great value and transformation from these 3 pieces of content and this story arc that you've led people through. Excuse me. And write really good headlines to get people engaged and then have them share it with other people, because then that becomes a source of traffic and it gets your program to go viral because people are sharing it because it's so awesome. So that's number 1 topic. Number 2 is timing. And for the timing, 1, it's got to fit in with your schedule. So what else is going on in your world? What else is going on your promotional calendar, with your business, with your travel, with your family, and choose a time when it doesn't conflict with anything else. And actually had a conversation with one of our joint venture mastery clients that ran a launch over her holidays while she was with her family in Mexico. And it ended up being a whole lot more work than she expected. So while her family was hanging out in Mexico, she was sitting inside on her computer. So that it was a learning lesson for her not to do that again, and that a launch typically is a lot more work than any of us ever expect, and to avoid those conflicts of interest. So that's something that I encourage you to do, is really be aware of your schedule and what's going on for you personally and schedule around it. Next thing, in alignment with what I was just saying, is if you're doing a launch, only be launching, like that being the focus, because it takes a ton of time, effort, energy, focus, bandwidth to really run an online launch successfully. There's a lot of technology. There's things that can go wrong. There's partners that need to be communicated with. There's a lot happening that running a launch while you're hosting a live event or attending a live event or have a family vacation becomes really challenging. So encourage you to, if you're going to do a launch, is schedule the launch and schedule nothing else in or around it. Give yourself that time and that space to really be present with the launch that you're running. Next thing is you also want to plan strategically around holidays and partners' schedules. So if there's a holiday, if it's Christmas or Easter or any other major holiday for your target market audience where they're not going to be engaged or they're going to be busy, then avoid having something major happening on those days of the holidays. Also, if you're doing a partner launch and having a ton of JV partners as one of your sources of traffic, is be aware when you're scheduling things of what else is happening in the marketplace with your joint venture partners. Are they all going to be supporting somebody else, or can they support you? Is there another big partner in the space that's doing something? And looking at as well, who are the people in your industry? What else is going on in your industry and your focus? When could you place your launch in order to get the most joint venture partner support, but also to follow up in the marketplace with a previous offer that maybe has a hole or a gap, or is different than yours somehow, that yours fulfills something that the previous offer in the marketplace didn't? Because then everybody who was like wanting the previous offer, but it wasn't really what they were looking for, then you come along and you have exactly what they're looking for, while they're still in the conversation of, oh, I wanted that, but it wasn't quite a fit. Then also in the scheduling piece is 4 weeks of focused prep time. And ideally 3 to 4 months of prep time leading up to it to schedule what are your pieces of content going to be, what are the giveaways, what are the videos that you're going to shoot, what are the scripts, getting the videos shot, shooting and getting the videos edited, and then testing the whole framework, engaging with your JV partners, and really 3 to 4 months of prep time leading up to your launch, with 4 weeks of focused prep time prior to it of getting everything in line, making sure everything's done, making sure partners are communicated with, and all of those pieces for making sure that your launch runs really well, and you've got the space around it for it to happen. Then it's 2 weeks to run the launch for the pre-launch content of sharing the valuable pieces of content, those 3 pieces of PLC, and then 4 days of the cart open and cart close period of registration. Then encourage 2 weeks following that for any upsells, and follow-up conversations with people who are interested, but they need to talk to somebody on the phone, and another 2 weeks in that period to calculate all the commissions, to do a debrief of the launch, of what worked, what didn't work, what can we improve, what do we need to do next, following that as well. So I encourage no big experiences, big live events or anything in the 2 weeks following a live launch as well, so that you have the space for the upsells, for all the follow-up and wrap-up of your launch. Also important in the timing for your launch is to think long-term and be connecting with partners months, even years in advance of when is your next big launch or promotion going to be. Because many people are scheduling pretty far in advance of what they are willing to support. With their own promotions, with their other JV partners, with what's going on in the space, is that the sooner you have something scheduled and get partners engaged for, the more likely it is for other people to schedule around you and not conflict. So that is timing. I see a question coming in. Awesome. So Mick is asking, is there one place that lists everything, or at least some of it going on, that you're potentially competing against, i.e. events, other launches, etc.? There are a couple places. There's one lady, and I forget who it is because I'm not engaged with it or with her, but she has an industry calendar where people can pay to have a listing on there of when their launch is, when their live event is. I think it's just for live events, actually, of what live events are going on in the personal development, coaching, speaking, business, training space. I forget who it is. I can find out, though. And then also different groups, mastermind groups, have master calendars where everybody in that mastermind group, like JV mastermind group, knows when each other's launches are, and there's like a shared calendar from the founder. It's something that we're eventually going to launch with JVology, is having that so people can list their launches, their promotions on there, with a bunch of details of when, of what kind of partner they're looking for, when is it, what are the commissions, and all that stuff, so that people can see it on the calendar, see what else is going on in the space, and choose to engage with it and jump on. But currently, all I know are in private mastermind groups and JV groups that I'm a part of, or this lady, I forget who it is, that has like an events calendar for the industry. So great question. So number 3, team. And before I jump in, I see another question coming in here on that. Cool. Yeah, and shared calendar definitely sounds like a useful product as a part of JVology. Beautiful. So team. So doing a big online product launch in this format that I'm sharing of 3 pieces of PLC and then a registration period, doing it solo is kind of insane. I've done it, and it's a ridiculous amount of work. It can work. I just suggest that you engage and enroll other people to support you, to ease the stress of how much stuff actually goes into an online launch. So ideas of people who you would want on your team for a big launch like this. So a video producer for shooting and for editing. Sometimes they're different people. You'd want a graphic designer to design the graphics, the logos for the products, the programs, the website. A content creator that will take whatever's in your brain and turn it into those PDFs or downloads that you're going to be giving away as your pre-launch content, as well as for the content of the program or course that you're offering. Web developer who's going to put all the pieces together online of the opt-in pages, the web forms, the CRM, the merchant account, the sales pages, like put all of those pieces together. A CRM manager who's going to manage all of the emailing that is happening. A copywriter who's going to write all of the emails, who's going to write the sales pages, who's going to write the video scripts. Customer support representatives who are going to deal with all the new customers that you have enrolling, are going to answer any questions while you're running webinars, are going to answer any questions following the launch, going to support all of the new people who enroll in the program. You'll want sales representatives who will be on sales chat, on like a chat feature on your website, as well as on the phone and following up with people from your webinars, from any of the other things that happen during the launch for people where you capture their phone numbers. You want a JV manager who can manage all the joint venture partnerships and relationships, And oftentimes this is a couple different things. There's the JV manager who's managing the relationships, and then there's somebody who's managing the mechanics of sending affiliate links and swipe copy, and managing the relationship throughout the launch. And a launch manager is also really good to have, somebody who understands the launch model, who knows how to run a launch, who can then manage all of these other people and make sure they're all working together smoothly in order to have the launch happen and run smoothly. So that's team. Questions on team. So which team members give the greatest leverage? Which one do you contract out first, second, third, etc.? Great question, and that's really dependent on what assets you already have in place and what you're okay doing yourself or have enough ability to do yourself. So for me, I have done all of these things myself. Things that I would get rid of first for myself are customer support. For people, but that's because I'm selling 100, 200 new people stuff. If it's going to be a smaller launch, then that could even be done by myself. So I would get customer support, content creator, and this is based on me and what I suck at and don't want to do. As I don't want to do customer service stuff, and I don't want to create slides and graphics and all that stuff. Graphic designer would go as well. All these other things I can do. Editing videos, not my jam. I typically will do my own video, but I'll do straight to camera. No cuts, just here's the straight to camera, here's the content, and here you go. And I can do a lot of this other stuff. However, for someone else, it's looking at two of the main things. So I'm going to get to the traffic and the transition process, which really are the two biggest things in this. So having a launch happen, I would suggest if you're going to hire anyone, hire a consultant to support you on the launch in crafting it, in framing it out. They'll tell you who else to hire and when based on assets that you already have in place. They'll tell you what's a good idea, what's not a good idea. They'll save you some money and help you frame everything out from a higher level strategic point of view. And then getting down into the nitty gritty is what do you hate? Like get rid of that. What do you suck at? Get rid of that. But then also look at where's the leverage in more traffic and or more sales. So in the more sales, that could be the copywriter, that could be the sales rep. In more traffic, that could be a JV manager who already has relationships with other people that can bring a bunch of JV partners with them, which means they're bringing a bunch of traffic to the process. However, traffic and conversion, neither one really matters without the other. So it's important to have both of those things. And then they're all interrelated. So I'm not really giving an answer because there's so many different variables based on where you're at and what's good. For me, if I was going to hire one person for a launch, it would be somebody to manage all of the technology and somebody who knows what they're doing, because there is a ton of shit happening when it comes to the technology and all of those pieces. And then I could take care of shooting the videos and writing the copy, and then the technology person who will do the CRM and the web development and all of those pieces and putting them all together, that's who I would hire first. Awesome. So I get where you come from. Beautiful. So that's team, and these are just a couple of the people. There's subcategories of these for different things that you would want on your team, but these are the basic things to think about in the major roles in your online launch. Next piece is the technology. So for the technology, it's an online launch and is going to require some tech. And we want as much of it as possible to be systemized, to be automated, to be simple and just done, that you don't have to think about it. So things that you're going to want technology-wise for an online launch, and these again are just the basics. So number one, you're going to want a website, like a domain name, like yourname.com or the name of your product.com. Then a hosting account so that you can host all that information on the website, actually be live for people to engage with it. You'll want a merchant account so that you can process people's credit cards and collect money and have that money go into your bank account in exchange for the product or program that you're offering. You'll want a CRM with affiliate tracking. And these can be two separate things, but basically you want a CRM to capture people's email addresses and communicate with them, that also tracks where did that person come from. Do we need to reward a joint venture partner for this person and their purchase if they make one? You'll also want a website building software, whether that's ClickFunnels or Lead Pages or Optimized Press or custom built on your own platform, for hosting or having that website look pretty, for it to be functional, for capturing people's information, putting it into the CRM, and then leading them to the next page, the thank you page, after they opt in for something, or to the sales page, or to the order form, or whatever it is. So you'll want a software or tool or person to build actual websites and the whole design of everything. We'll also want file storage for the videos, the downloads. They've got to be hosted somewhere as well, that they pull onto the website, onto the page, or are sent to people's emails that they click on it and then it's downloaded from somewhere. Then also having a webinar or teleseminar software, because this is one of the top transition processes, is getting people live on the line where you can be engaging with them like we are now and sharing great content and great value, and then have that influence and connection in order to be able to make the offer and have them move forward with something. And a Facebook ads account. So this Facebook ads is one of the top ways to get traffic. And in order to get that traffic, you'll have to have a Facebook ads account. And then if you're not going to manage it yourself, have somebody who's going to manage that Facebook ads account and run all your ads, create the ads, and do all that stuff. And that's something that we outsource as well, is all the Facebook ads. Any questions on the technology piece? All right, beautiful. So once all of your technology is in place, next thing is traffic. And traffic, again, is eyeballs and having people actually see and engage with your content, with your free training, the PLC, and with your offers. Because you can have the greatest offer and it can convert like crazy and people can want it, but if nobody sees it or knows that it exists, then it doesn't really matter. So yeah, nobody sees it, doesn't matter. You got to get eyeballs on the free content and on your offer. And there's three primary methods for getting targeted traffic in this online marketing space. So number one is your own list, if you have a list, and sharing whatever the value is, whatever the content is, with your list. Because they're already there, they already like you, they already trust you, they're already engaging with you, is sharing whatever this new offer, this new program, this launch is, sharing that with your list. Next great place for traffic is joint venture partners. And one of the reasons that I love joint venture partners is because one relationship can bring you a ton of traffic. You don't have to worry about Facebook ads. You don't have to pay for anything up front. You're just really building a very powerful relationship that then is huge leverage for you. We have partners that one relationship results in them sending their entire list, our stuff, that we're getting access to 100,000 people really quickly based on one relationship. If we were going to get in front of 100,000 people on Facebook, there's a much different exchange or process of the exchange of value, because we would have to pay for that up front. Excuse me, I've still got digestion stuff going on. For those of you who were at JVology Live last week. So the JV partners, there can be one relationship that sends so much that you pay based on results afterwards, and pay commissions only based on what was actually sold. Whereas this next form of paid traffic, which for most people that's Facebook ads, and there's a whole bunch of other places you can buy traffic and media buys and all that fun stuff, but the main one that we see used today is Facebook ads, is that all of that traffic has to be paid for upfront in advance without the results. And if there are no results, then you lose all that money. Whereas with a JV partner, all the payments are already based on results, so you've already brought in money in order to make those payments. So those are the three main places to get targeted traffic. There's a bunch of other places like going to trade shows and in-person experiences and live events. And then there's other stuff that you can do online, but these really are the three main ones that people focus on. And I encourage you just to focus on these three because they are the best in my perception. So the next piece is the transition process, and having people transition from just being traffic, leads, people who are engaging in your free value and your content and seeing your offers, to actually saying yes and giving you their credit card number and paying you for the value that you have. Because you can have all the traffic in the world and you can have 100,000 people hit your website, but if there is no transition process to have them opt in and then engage with them and then sell them your stuff, then your funnel doesn't really work for that result of generating revenue. So as I mentioned, the name of the game is traffic and conversion, and these are the two main pieces, is having the traffic come in and then having the transition process actually happen. So screwing up either one of those will cause the launch to fall flat. Even if you have everything else in place, you miss one of these and it doesn't really matter. You did a whole bunch of work for naught. So top conversion processes in an online product launch, as we're describing. One is a live online training, a coach-a-thon, a teleclass, a webinar. Although I encourage you not to call it a webinar, call it a live online training, a masterclass, a coach-a-thon, something like that, because people are more likely to attend because it's perceived more value instead of being just another webinar. And these work really well because you get to have it can turn into a back and forth experience, but also they can see you, they can hear your voice, the inflection, they can see the slides, and there's a lot of different forms of communication or different modalities and learning styles that are addressed rather than somebody just reading a sales page or just watching a video. So that it can be more engaging back and forth, and it works really well for conversion, so I encourage you to do those. Next thing is a well-executed cart close. So in that registration period, having the scarcity or rather urgency of, okay, you've only got 4 days for this, you've only got 3 days, you've only got 2 days, okay, last day, you've only got 12 hours, you've only got 6 hours, you've only got 3 hours, you've only got 1 hour left. Adding in different bonuses is another aspect of conversion or supporting the conversion, but that really comes into the copywriting and framing the offer piece. But having really good bonuses, adding in more bonuses, having all your partners mailing on cart close, adding in bonuses themselves is one of the top places where sales will happen, is on the last day in the last couple hours when there's a hard deadline of this is your last chance to get this. Sign up now or you miss out on this opportunity. And having that deadline really supports people in making a decision because it forces them to make a decision rather than put it off and keep on waiting. And the next one is having a sales team on the phone with prospects as well as on live chat on your websites so that people are communicating. There's back and forth interaction. People are engaging with somebody on your team who is going to offer them the next step, overcome any objections. So those really are the main things, is you getting live with them online, on webinars, having a really good registration open and close period, and ideally the last day, like pushing really hard and really supporting people in making a decision based on the urgency and the deadline, and then having a sales team on the phone with prospects, reaching out to them, having conversations with them on the phone and on Facebook chat. So that is the transition process. Opportunity for questions and answers on any of that content. So anything you guys have questions, then let me know. So what's coming up for you? What could help you specifically with any of your launches or promotions? Any clarification on any of the content? All right, Q&A going once. Q&A going twice. And for anybody who's watching this recording, you can post in the Facebook group for JVology Global Lounge any questions you have about any of this content. And questions going thrice. All right, beautiful. So no questions today, surprisingly. Last time I shared this content, it was off the charts. So JV pitches. We had one person at least say that they wanted to do a JV pitch. So let me jump back in here, and I believe Jackie, that was you. Jackie, if you're ready to go with your JV pitch, let me know. If you can just say yes, ready to rock, then that would be fantastic. All right, you're good to go. So I'm going to unmute you here momentarily. And for the JV pitch, basically, you were at JVology Live. You know the rundown. Just go through the model and through the framework. Share the JV pitch, and got 2 minutes. And remember to tell people where and how to engage with you if they feel like it is a fit to partner. So coming to you, Jackie, you are unmuted. Jackie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Take
Okay.
it away.
So I'll start. I run a company called Pure Potentials, which is a seminar company. We're hosting a 3-day speakers retreat that helps speakers grow and develop their speaking business. It's really different because not only do audience members get to hear from highly successful speakers, but they also get the opportunity to speak in front of our audience as well. It's pretty impressive. We have Jay Facette, David Bayer, and Ian Garlic as three of the keynotes, which is awesome. Those people who attend will also leave with video footage of their own speech and some new headshots. So we're looking for affiliates who already serve authors, speakers, and coaches and who'd like to make a commission of $100 per sale. The ticket prices are $197, so we give you a little bit more than 50%. The retreat is February 24th to the 26th at La Costa in Carlsbad, which is beautiful. If you'd like to be an affiliate, we have all kinds of links and swipe copy and great things to help support you. We have the tracking link so you can go right on in, see what kind of commissions that we owe you. If you want to get in contact with me, you can email me or message me personally, and I will send you the affiliate link so that you can sign up. Done.
Fantastic. Awesome. And what's your email and the
Sure.
best way to contact you personally?
Yeah, sure. They email that would be great would be my personal one, which is JACKIM as in mother at me.com.
All right. So JACKIM
M
at
at me.com. Yeah.
me.com. All right. So I'm going to send that to everyone on the line. All right. So I just sent everybody that email address. You can reach out to Jackie there if interested. Awesome.
Thank
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing. And I guess Jay is going to be really close to me that weekend here in San Diego.
you. Awesome.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks.
All right. Does anybody else want to do a JV pitch? So last opportunity for JV pitch. Um, Mick is asking, is there a URL to sign up? I don't believe there's a URL. But if you email Jackie at me.com, she'll be able to hook you up with all the details and everything that you need. All right. Oh, she says there is a URL. Jackie, if you can please share that with me, I'll share that with everyone. And in the future, that would be a good idea to share that. If you're wanting to just allow anybody to sign up and then like talk to them afterwards, then it'd be a good idea to share that URL in the offer. So if you want to just type that to me right now, then I can share that with everyone here on the line. So while Jackie is doing that, is there anybody else who wants to do a JV pitch? Whether it's a real JV pitch or you just want to practice a JV pitch, then now is the final opportunity to do that. So JV pitches, yes, no. JV pitches going once. JV pitches going twice. JV pitches gone. All right, and here is the link. It's the Infusionsoft link to the affiliate form for Jackie's offer. That you can go there and sign up as an affiliate and get your site copy and links and all that stuff. And I'm not sure, Jackie, if everything is built out automatically on the back end of that, but that's where you would sign up as an affiliate with her, and she'll see the sign up and then be able to reach out and connect with you. And she says everything is already built out and already done. So that link is all you need to get connected. And then I'd encourage reaching out to her as well personally via email saying, hey, I signed up as an affiliate. Is there anything else I need to know? And maybe have a quick connection. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So next thing is a mastermind opportunity. So there was nobody at the beginning of the call that said they have a question to pose to the group or like a curiosity or wanting to poll the group or get other pieces of feedback. But there is an opportunity right now if you have a question, if there's an opportunity, if there's something you'd like to share with the group to gain support on from other perspectives, then now is the opportunity to do that. So if anybody has a mastermind question, then if you can please just type it in, that would be fantastic. I see a hand raised. Mick, if you can type in the questions box, or you wanted to jump in with a question. All right, beautiful. So Mick has a mastermind question. So we are going to open it up. Mick, I'm going to come to you, and you are unmuted. Are you there?
I am here, Josh. Can you hear me?
I gotcha. Beautiful. So,
Beautiful.
how can we support?
Good to see you looking a little better than when I last saw you on the weekend. So hopefully you're on the mend, brother.
Yeah, a little bit, getting there. I'm up to
Okay.
like 80% or so. Still don't have much of an
Okay.
appetite, but
Good to hear. Good to hear you're on the backside of it. Yeah, my question is around the which team members piece give the greatest leverage, because I appreciate your perspective there, and I absolutely get look, pick your wheelhouse and contract the rest if you like. But if anybody on the line has some experience in terms of when you're just starting out, so big picture, I'm kind of at the start of this process, scoping out my first launch. So I'd be interested to hear from people as to what helped them in the early days in terms of where they got the best bang for buck, if you like, where they got the most leverage, who do you get on board? Setting aside that obviously we all have our own excuse me, specialties.
mhm,
Yeah, where do I start basically to look for the right kind of partners is probably the wrong word, but specialists perhaps.
mhm. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And I've got some other ideas too. But before I jump in, does anybody on the line have suggestions on team members, who to hire first or when it comes to the online marketing game, that wants to jump in? So if you do, just say unmute me in the questions box, and I will unmute you, and then we can have a little mastermind jam going on here. So any suggestions on hiring team, on who to outsource to that has the highest leverage in doing an online launch or online marketing or any of those pieces, feel free to share. I'm not seeing anybody yet, so I would encourage you guys, even if you don't think it's that relevant, to share your experience with it, with Mick. So he's got some other perspectives. And if you'd like to do that, just say unmute me. And while leaving that opportunity open, so I'm going to share a couple things. And for those of you guys on the line, that would like to jump in and share something, or you have an idea, suggestion, other perspective, then just say unmute me and I'll unmute you. So what I see most often, Mick, in people starting out is and again, it's so personalized based on different people and based on their abilities. But what I see most is people bringing on technology support as the first piece of external support. Is really the first piece. Second piece is often around the copywriting and framing the offer, framing, like having the language done well, for the sales page, for the video scripts, for the emails, for all of that stuff. So that's really, one, making sure that the whole model is built out so that you can actually do the launch, so the technology is being done, and then focusing on the conversion process so that people actually opt in, people actually engage with the content, people actually want the offer, and people actually take action on the offer. And then following that, oftentimes people will do their own JV stuff, but that would be another aspect of having like a joint venture person who's got relationships who can manage that stuff. But that often isn't hired out first.
When you say JV stuff, what do you mean? You're talking about a JV launch manager?
Yes. So if you're doing a joint venture launch with joint venture partners, then having somebody to reach out to joint venture partners, enroll joint venture partners, maybe bring joint venture partners with them if you're outsourcing to a contractor, and then to manage the JV partners, to communicate with them through the launch, to make sure they're getting all their affiliate links and all their swipe copy and all of those pieces. Um, However, for most people, that is easier to do than some of the other mechanical technology stuff, like video shooting and video editing. But again, this all comes down to what are you able to do yourself versus not able to do yourself or unwilling to do yourself.
So if I hear you right with that JV launch manager, essentially, like let's say I've got a launch and I'm trying to look after my clients and I'm trying to enroll clients and all the rest of it. A subset of that, and in fact more powerful leverage, is to do that exact same thing with a person internally to get me more affiliates.
Mm-hmm.
I want to enroll them. I want to connect with them. I want to look after them. I want to serve them. All of that sort of stuff. Yeah, that provides a heck of a lot of leverage by doing that internally, because it means your JV partners are better, more powerful, more looked after. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a nice one. I like that. Sorry, keep talking. I just wanted to clarify there to make sure I got the right idea.
Yeah, and really, it's like starting out is in order to do a launch, you need the structure and the launch built. So you need like the technology, you need the videos, you need the content pieces. Like it's got to be ready to go. And then there's the traffic and the conversion. Is those are the three main things to focus on? Is okay, what do I need to do to build this thing so it actually works? How do I get traffic? And how do I actually convert so that it makes money? Um, and those, in my mind, right now are like the three main things to focus on. And then within those subcategories is what are you able to do and willing to do versus what is like hell no. Like building out an entire launch is insane when it comes to the technology and all the pieces that are in place and how in depth you can get with it to increase conversion through the entire process. That if technology is not your wheelhouse, it's like, okay, somebody else needs to take care of that. And maybe you're able to take care of the copywriting and the video scripts and shoot the videos yourself and do a little like basic editing. Or it could be the flip side. Maybe you're really good at technology, but you suck at copywriting. And you can build out the technology and then hire a copywriter and somebody who's really good at influencing through that process. So there's the normal that I see, which is most people hate the technology and are stuck on the technology. So that's one of the first things that they outsource. But then it also comes down to what are you good at? What are you proficient at? What do you a hell no to not doing? Because it could be opposite to that. So it really comes down to you and your skill sets, other assets that you have in place, budget of what you want to outsource and to who. So there's a lot of variables, as I said before, but those really are the three main things of having the structure done so that it actually works and it can be done, having the traffic so that eyeballs actually see your stuff, and then having the conversion in place. So finding the leverage within those based on where you're at and what your skill sets are and other assets that you have in place.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. In fact, my gut feeling tells me a lot of the stuff you've talked about can be done over time. So either you can do some of it yourself if it's in your wheelhouse, and it might take you 6 months to build the copy, build the swipe, all that sort of stuff. But where I could potentially see the leverage absolutely around the JV Launch Manager. But the other thought in my mind is someone can help you when things are dynamic. Like once the launch is going, once you push the ship away from the dock, that's when it all breaks loose. Because before that, you've got time. But once you push the button, then I think the help, yeah. So no, that's good. That's really clarified something in my mind. So brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. And nobody else has said anything. Does anybody else want to jump in and share really quick before we wrap up on this topic? You can just say unmute me if you want to jump in. All right, fantastic, beautiful. Thanks for sharing, Mick. And I'm going to, all right, you are muted. All right, beautiful. So this was our JVology Global Lounge call for this month. Any other questions that come up in your mind, or any of you guys that are watching the recording, feel free to post in the JVology Global Lounge Facebook group. Next month, our JVology Global Lounge call is Thursday, February 9th at noon Mountain Time, 11 Pacific or 2 p.m. Eastern. And we'll talk about the content that's going to be shared in the Facebook group. So if you have any questions, any suggestions, any specific topics that you would like to see covered on one of these JVology Global Lounge call, they really are designed to support you, our community, in growing your businesses and sharing your message, creating a bigger impact through joint ventures. So whatever you guys are needing or wanting is how we can direct our content to support you. So any big major questions, then post those in the Facebook group as a suggestion of, hey, I'd love to hear about this on our next JVology Global Lounge call. And that will be happening Thursday, February 9th at noon Mountain. Also, we have JVology Launchpad coming up. Our next is Banff, Alberta, Canada. To register for that, you can go to JV Launchpad, and it's actually JV Launchpad, not JVology Launchpad, but jvlaunchpad.com. Or if you already have a ticket to attend and you want to register and make sure that you're on the list, you can email info@jv-ology.com to get registered for that. And again, if you're not registered and you want to come, jvlaunchpad.com has all the details and information where you can get registered. Then our JVology Summit. So we just did our JVology Live last week. We also did a JVology Summit last week. It's one of the best summits that we've had yet. They just keep getting better and better and better and better. Our next one is June 22nd to 24th in Banff, Alberta, immediately following JV Launchpad. And then we are going to have another one January 2017. The dates and location are to be determined. Location will likely be Phoenix or San Diego, somewhere south that's warm during the winter. And to register for that event, you can go to jvologysummit.com to register. Or if you already have a ticket, can register at info@jv-ology.com to make sure you're registered for that event. So those are our upcoming events. And this was January's JVology Global Lounge Call. So until I see you on the next Global Lounge Call or in a joint venture mastery event or a lead event or some other event or experience, keep sharing your message, keep creating an impact, and remember that we are better together. Woohoo! All right, beautiful. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Cheers.